Welcome to Mastering Solutions. In this problem, we're discussing momentum, and what they're going to have us do is to compare the momentum of two objects, obviously the two bowling balls. They want us to solve for the speed that the second bowling ball needs to be. So the speed of, we'll say this is bowling ball 2. What does that need to be for the girl to win the competition? So we're going to find the minimum speed so that they'll be equal, so that then obviously she just has to be faster than that. So let's write down a list of all the other variables. So we know that the bowling ball 1 has, we'll say mass 1 is equal to 4.5 kilograms. And then the velocity of the first bowling ball is equal to 7.2 meters per second. Those are all in SI units, which is great. We don't have to convert anything. And now we know that the mass of the second bowling ball is equal to 6.4 kilograms. Obviously, the velocity of the second bowling ball, as we already discussed, is what we're looking for. So let's write the formula for momentum. Momentum is equal to the mass times the velocity. So we're going to set them both equal to each other. So the mass of the first bowling ball times the velocity of the first bowling ball has to equal the mass of the second bowling ball times the velocity of the second bowling ball. So we're trying to solve for V2, so let's divide both sides by the mass of the second bowling ball. That goes away. Divide the other side by the mass of the second bowling ball. And now we're left with the velocity of the second bowling ball is equal to m1 times v1 over m2. Now you can write this two different ways. You could say that the mass divided by the second mass multiplied by the velocity 1, or you can think of it as this, m1 times v1, and then dividing that by m2. If you plug it into the calculator both ways with the associative properties of multiplication and division, you're going to end up with the same answer. So it doesn't really matter either way, just whatever works best for your brain. So now let's plug the variables in. So the velocity of the second bowling ball, of what she at least has to hit to tie and obviously get over to win, is m1 4.5 kilograms divided by the mass of the second bowling ball, which is 6.4 kilograms. And then we're going to multiply that by 7.2 meters per second. So when we cancel out the units, we're left with meters per second, and we're looking for a velocity so we know we're in the correct units and we've done our math correctly. So then when we calculate this out, we're going to have 4.5 divided by 6.4, and then we'll multiply that by the velocity, which was 7.2 meters per second, and we end up with 5.1 meters per second. Now, just to illustrate my point, if we take this and we say 4.5, and we multiply that by 7.2, and then divide that by 6.4, we end up with the exact same answer. So the velocity that the second bowler has to hit is she has to hit at least 5.1 meters per second to win the competition.